You recently were appointed as the new Economic Development Director for Jefferson Davis County. What does an Economic Development Director do?
Well, first of all, for me, this is a dream job. Um, an economic development director um, is responsible for bringing new jobs and industry to the county. In a nutshell, I'm also the head of the director for the Chamber of Commerce. So once we have businesses here, I also work with those businesses to become a select cohesive aggregate and to help do projects and stuff to move the county forward from a commerce standpoint. But I guess really the economic development job is the sales job. You know, my job is to go around and tout how great Jefferson Davis County is and why people should come here and bring jobs here and things like that. And it's kind of it's a networking position as well. So a lot of what I do is talking to this person, finding out what they need and putting them together with the right person or with the right office or the right information to get them where they need to go. It's a fun job.
So, are there resources available then? Like, say, for example, you know that a company wants to relocate, but they may need tax abatement for a year or some kind of support like that. Does your job allow for that kind of thing?
Yes, again, it's putting those people in touch with the right people as well. There are local enticements that the local board of supervisors, if it's they're coming to the county, or it's the local board of aldermen if they're coming within the city limits of Bassfield or Prentice, but also on a state level, the Mississippi Development Authority, and even the utility companies all have an economic development department. Cooperative Energy has been super helpful to me, especially getting the sites that we have available up on the MDA site and with correct information and stuff.
So it sounds like you're very enthusiastic and excited about that position.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, it's a dream job. So, and everything's new. The position that I started in February had been empty since last August when my predecessor passed away. So, and he had been in poor health for some time before that. So there was a lot not being done for quite some time. So I had a lot to accomplish to get back up and going and to be able to really move forward and create some more momentum because the energy had been kind of stagnant there for a while. And luckily I have an assistant that has been there that whole time that was able to hold down the fort and keep things up and going and stuff and prepare the way for the new director, which happened to be me, so that we could, you know, really start from day one, hit the ground running and make the contacts with people like the Mississippi Development Authority and the Cooperative Energy Economic Development, South Mississippi Planning and Development, those type of agencies and stuff, as well as I had to meet the Board of Supervisors. Some of them I knew, some of them I didn't. You know, I had to go before both boards of aldermen and make sure that we all jihad and that they understood my vision and that I understood where they were coming from as well, and that we all have to work together. You know, it's not going to be my way or the highway.
Gary, you mentioned something. You were talking, you said this is an ideal job, a dream job for you.
Yes.
What is it about your life that prepared you for this and that makes it your dream job?
Right. Well, I've always been a people person. I'm a Leo, so I always like being, you know, the entertainer, and I'm a musician and an artist, so I've always put myself out there that way. I have a degree in marketing and sales from University of Southern Mississippi. And the greatest compliment I ever got, I was called a visionary by one of my managers when I lived out west in Sedona, Arizona. And she said, you see the potential in people, places, and things that others do not see. You can look at that and go, oh my goodness, that would be such an amazing thing. If they just did this, it would be this, you know. And that was the greatest compliment ever. So I would say a lot of the jobs that I have and worked through, I lived in New York City. I worked for a website when the internet was in its infancy and stuff. So I have a little background in web and that media. I also, being a visual artist and stuff, I have an idea of how things should look aesthetically. I go into the town and I drive around like, well, there should be a sign here, and this building should have a mural on it, and wouldn't that be welcoming and stuff, and those kind of things. So a background in sales, and being able to sit down in front of somebody. I sold vacation ownership in Sedona, so I had 90 minutes to convince you to give me $18,000 to $40,000. And I had to get in there, get the job done, and get out of there. So it allowed me to be able to go into a situation, assess the situation, and make an evaluation whether this is for me or not for me, and how can this benefit me? How can I benefit them? And move on.
So it sounds like you're a relationship builder.
I would say so, definitely. And you have to be. I mean, there are pros and cons to every place. We're the 11th poorest county, and one of the poorest states is always known for being 50th. We're also named after the president of the Confederacy, and that's not real popular right now. So we have a lot of things working against us. You know, we're also known for two things in this county right now: drugs and football. So I'm trying to take the negative concepts that we have and turn those into positive concepts. You know, if somebody tells you, you know, you've got to get to a lot of no's to get to a yes in sales. So if somebody gives you an objection to something, you've got to be able to overcome that objection, and to be able to do it fairly quickly while you're there, and not, oh, I should have said this to them. You know, that would have really gotten me in the door, you know, that kind of thing. I would say that those skills really come into play here, have been beneficial to me in that way. Also, I worked in restaurants. I was a bartender in New York City for years, along with being a starving artist, and worked in the hospitality industry. My first job, I was a corporate trainer for a franchise sales company, and my job was to go into businesses and tell them what they were doing wrong and what they needed to do to be profitable. So I think that really prepared me at an early age. It also sort of ruined me because I still go into convenience stores and pull all the expired merchandise off the shelf and bring it up to the manager and go, you need to check these more often, you know. And I'm often training my waiter or server, you know, at a restaurant on how they could make more money if they would just do this, that kind of stuff. But it really helps me now, because I've got to get along with everybody, and I've got to be able to make people feel like this is the garden spot of the earth and they need to come here and be a part of it.